Pretty incredible. Carol being able to cover that throughout the years, too.
Fantastic, isn't it?
All right, Carol, let's talk about the weather out there and some winds blowing out there, right?
Yeah, south wind, southern Utah, a little north wind here in the north, and temperatures are hot all across the state. This is Zion National Park, where we are dealing with some gusty winds and temperatures. Upper 90s and low 100s today at Zion National Park. How about Bear Lake sunrise? Abel Lish sending this picture in. Oh my goodness, what a pretty picture. Gorgeous vista. Bear Lake's awesome, but those sunsets, whoo, that's awesome too. Abel, thanks for sending it in. High temperatures around the country today. Salt Lake City, well, we went to 90 degrees. Boise went to 91. We were in the 70s for Portland, Seattle, and Great Falls, and then 80s pick up in Bismarck to Rapid City, Minneapolis to Chicago. Boston and Washington, D.C. dealing with some storms. They're in the 60s, but then 80s take over from Atlanta to Memphis, Kansas City, 90s in Denver and Dallas today with 100 plus in El Paso and Phoenix. Some very hot temperatures out over the south, and it's June, it's summer. That's just generally what happens. We do have a change coming to Utah. There's a weak little cool front that's draped over northern Utah. It's produced tons of clouds today. 90 in Salt Lake with 80s right now in Logan and in Ogden. 87 Provo with 100 degrees in Moab and 106 in St. George. This little line, this little frontal boundary will continue to sag south. Ahead of that, we'll still see some strong south winds tonight. A red flag warning remains in effect for most of southern Utah, which means high temperatures, low humidity, gusty winds. It's a recipe for fire. Any spark can just go crazy because of that, and that will remain in effect through midnight. So here's this little frontal boundary. There's not a whole lot to this. The main storm and the low stay north. All we're going to get is a wind shift and a little temporary temperature drop out of that storm by ending up tomorrow in the upper 80s compared to the low 90s. So it isn't much, but here's a look at our storm zone. That front zips on by, curls off to the east. All the precipitation stays north and east of Utah. High pressure then returns as we head through Wednesday and Thursday. We're looking at sunny skies, and by Thursday afternoon, we're going to see some strong south winds pick up, and that's going to send temperatures here in northern Utah to 100 degrees for the first time this season, and extra hot across southern Utah. So our forecast is calling for temperatures in the 80s tomorrow for Price and Nephi, 88 in Delta, 86 in Manti. Abundant sunshine. It's just going to be down a couple of degrees. As you head into southern Utah, it's a drop, but it's not much to celebrate. 97 for the high in Moab, down from 100 of today. 81 in Loa and 103 in St. George, down from the 106. Mesquite will go to 107. 7-day forecast, 103, but right back up to 107 and 108. Average is 97, so those 2 days are 10 above normal or greater, and then we trend back down. Mid-90s return for Sunday, Monday, actually going below normal as we head through the latter half of the weekend. Your forecast tonight in Logan, 50 degrees. Heber City drops to 47. We'll be back in the 80s tomorrow with abundant sunshine. Salt Lake at 88, Sandy at 86, and Provo will go to 87. 7-day forecast, well, the 80s don't last long. 90s on Wednesday, our first 100-degree day of the year Thursday, and then an extra cool down comes Sunday into Monday.